Effed up things cops and nurses saw, according to Reddit. Number 14. I was a CNA and had been working at a nursing home for about a month. This nursing home was extremely understaffed all the time, and on this particular night, I had around 60 patients. Yes, you heard that right, 60 patients. The closest nurse was on the next section. Very frequently, I would be the only staff member on the unit. Things were going okay, considering everything, and at around 4 a.m., I was making my last rounds. I was trying to do my work when a confused woman comes up to me, insistent that it was 8 a.m. and that we should get coffee and have toast. I couldn't fetch that for her because the kitchen was closed. I tried to convince her to go to bed, but that didn't work. After 20 minutes of this, I heard the voice of a nurse scream for me. I couldn't leave the confused lady, so I put her in a wheelchair and rolled her down to where I could help the nurse and keep an eye on her. The nurse told me she was trying to pass meds when she heard a woman scream. She went running into the room to find one of my patients in a pool of their own blood. This woman was trying to get herself to the bathroom when she slipped, broke her hip, and smacked the back of her head. This woman was my patient, but I wouldn't get to her in time, or I couldn't get to her. I put on gloves, grabbed a washcloth, and applied pressure to her head. Meanwhile, the nurse put her hip on a pillow and got her vitals. Another CNA called 911. I gave a report to the paramedics, and they took her to the nearest hospital. She came back soon to the nursing home, and she was never the same. I believe she got a traumatic brain injury. Oh, son of a bitch, the text is doubling. I don't think much could be done for her because she was 98 years old when this happened. Jesus Christ. Before, she was mildly confused. When she came back, she would lie in her bed and scream. What's scarier than real life, boy? Nothing. Before, she was mildly confused, but when she came back, she would just lie in her bed and scream like a baby, like an infant. After that shift, I told people what happened. The mass amount of blood was hard to miss. I gave a report, clocked out, and I went to my car and just cried and cried. To this day, I still haven't cried that hard over a patient. The early morning before, I stayed late after my shift, and her and I were talking for about 45 minutes about how much we loved San Francisco and seafood. She told me about growing up on the coast and about cute sailor boys. Once I realized management didn't give two shits about this kind of stuff happening because of being short-staffed, I put in my 2 weeks notice and refused to actually work those 2 weeks. I've worked at a hospital for the last 2 years, and I'm hoping to transfer to the ICU. What an intense story about, the reality and struggle that is the fact that age is going to catch up with all of us, and that sometimes we're just one slip and fall away from a life that is extremely different. Your head hits the pavement the wrong way, or the tile, or even the carpet, and you could fuck yourself up in a big way. Oh, did I just say the F word? Oh, no monetization for me. Oh, what a world. Subscribe and like then. Yeah, that'll recoup the losses. Don Lawrence, Banal Vulgarian, Linda, Odie, Mr. Ryukage, Selena, Momster Stripes, and Tara. Spicy Tara. It's nice to see all of you, Seraphin, Mason, and Doom. I appreciate you, and I hope that you guys are having an interesting evening as we roll through some of these that are probably going to get fairly gritty. I'm not one to put disturbing on any of my titles, so we got nothing to worry about. Soila coming in saying that I like rain, a poignant contribution to this video. So number 13, I had been a nurse for over 10 years, and I had to be honest. So much of my experiences are not gory or traumatic, as many others here, and never will be. But for me, and I know some of you might understand, the most effed up things I see will continue to see is the horror of Alzheimer's. Ugh. It's true. Frontal temporal dementia and Lewy body dementia. I tell you what, these people come in and they are polite and confused and able to fake it sometimes. Maybe their families have cared for them at home for a long time. Within hours, often they realize they aren't leaving and their family is gone. The facade is over. They become mean and nasty often. They'll lose weight due to trauma. They'll refuse to eat and have this empty look in their eyes, begging to be released from their shell of a body in their own personal hell. Unable to verbalize the pain or confusion or anything else that they feel, the families going through this is sad too. But what I was reminded of was when these folks do get sick or break a hip or crap themselves, the amount of people it takes to help them clean it up literally have to try to hold their hands down because they do not understand what is going on no matter what. Jesus, man. Can it get any rougher? Can it get any rougher? It's one thing when it's awful, the idea that you're fully cognizant. You're fully aware of what's going on with and around you. You have lost control of your body and now you are wetting and crapping yourself like that of a baby. But to be so out of it that you can't even process that the people around you are trying to help you or trying to clean you, that sucks. And I know it may be a really brutal and intense, take. I don't want to make a spicy take on my own YouTube channel where I should be allowed to flex my, entitlement to voice my own opinion. But boy, I can only speak for myself. And sometimes I feel like if it were to come to that, I would rather not be an expense to anyone if that's my life, you know what I mean? Because it's not much of a life. It's essentially an existence. So yes, imagine a 4'10" little old lady who is 90 something years old in the shower with 2 or 3 staff members that she's swinging and pissed off at, but hasn't had a shower in over a week. Starts with diarrhea, one girl gets sick, so old lady grabs... Oh, thank you for hosting, Linda. So one lady grabs the poop and starts smearing it on her, ends up standing on a wet floor and other 2 gals in there trying to hold on to her and keep her off of the floor and get her clean, throwing handfuls of poop at the girls, the doorway and the wall. And here I come, knocking on the door, in her dress clothes as an assistant director of nursing, trying to help people and getting poo on their feet. I mean, have a little bit of perspective, lady. At least you have a quality of life that's a lot better than these people. You getting a little bit of crap on your shoes ain't the end of the world. Imagine being in the mental headspace of some of these people. Aging gracefully is something that a lot of us, won't be able to hit the lottery and have. But, the way some people live their lives these days, just like disgustingly, and not in the way that they are, but more in the way they treat other people. You want to be a scumbag, like, hey, it's your life, live it the way you want. But when you're hurting other people or like being super critical of other people and allowing that to like wash over them in a way where maybe they're so upset that they want to take their own lives and shit, it's just a bit wild. It's a bit wild. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can't help but think that, you hear me cringe when I read sometimes, and it's not because some of this stuff is too intense. It's because I feel like, because I'm a black man, because I'm, sitting behind a microphone reading, because I'm not the pretty, a white person that's behind a camera, that's going to do some unboxing videos and makeup tutorials and vlog about irrelevant drama going on between people I don't know and will never meet, talking about PewDiePie and donations that he's made and things that people doing with amounts of money that some people will never make in their entire lifetime. Because I am just reading some stories from some people, I know that YouTube will literally, because they've done it before, reach down and strike me for doing exactly what other people have done. One of my favorite things on this channel was just a narration of like a creepy thing, you know? And I was struck for that. You know how many other people on the site have done that? And it's like still up? But do you think mine got to stay up? If it was just struck, if it was just demonetized, that would be one thing. They took my video off the internet. Should I be flattered? You know, is it so serious sounding? Because he's a big deal voice actor. It was just too real. Was it so real sounding that you should definitely have targeted me for something that other people have done and gets to stay up? Oh, Stripes, don't even let me get into Toy Box Killer. That's another scenario. I completely understand Toy Box Killer in a way because it's like a real thing, you know? And it shouldn't have been exercised in a way that was kind of like an audio drama, I guess, because as soon as you're talking about people doing things with animals like it doesn't happen in the real world. Let me tell you something else. There are entries on this very list that I can't read to you because it's too real. Stuff about people put babies in microwaves and drug dealers and the things that they get up to because it's real life. So when I make a YouTube video, apparently I'm supposed to pretend that aspect of real life does not exist and just gloss over it when people really want to hear about these kinds of stories. You know, in a way, it'll help us from drifting down to that end of the spectrum to know how bad it is. But in reality on YouTube, they will swat at me because I don't have the amount of people necessary to give enough of a crap when it's something for me to bitch about. So, you know, I'm just trying to keep my head down and do what I do. But like I said, you feel me cringing, you hear me cringing when I read some of this stuff, and it's not because it's outrageous, it's just another guy can do this and read it and it's all fine and fun and spooky and it's a real true scary story, but not really, we're all just having a little bit of fun, you know what I mean? But let me read it and it's like it's straight debauch, it's degeneracy unleashed. How can I do that? And what kind of monster would even listen to it? So guys, I love you to death. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry that someone telling a story that they didn't even write themselves, that like other people have written, if YouTube has a problem with Reddit, my dude, there are about 1,000 channels with some kid that's fed all of those web pages into a robot that it should deal with before me. Okay? So, number 12. I'm old, so this was a long time ago. I looked after someone who had attempted suicide on the train tracks. They survived, but lost both of their legs. We used to see stuff like this on a subreddit called Watch People Die, a subreddit that doesn't exist anymore. Just like I think maybe a lot of things won't exist if you give it a couple of years. But you know what we're waiting for now? The successor to all of the things that we enjoy right now. Where are they? It's hard to know. It's hard to know what Netflix was going to become back in the days where we were still fucking with Blockbuster. But hopefully some of you have your ear to the ground and you can give me a heads up before things get nuts. So yeah, some dude got hit by a train after he attempted to off himself and he survived. Everyone was JFC. They were suicidal before and now they were going to be living with a significant disability. That's not very yeem of him. Number 11. A guy convinced a friend to drill a hole in the back of his head. I'm wrong to laugh at that, but come on. I hope that my little rant that I just went on gives you a little bit of perspective to me on this channel. I don't like to think of myself as a YouTuber. I just like to think of myself as a dude with a channel, and not to sound like I ramble, but much of what I do here is constantly me being under the fear of, whether or not I'm going to be unfairly attacked for something that other people do and it's fine and they get away with it. And in my opinion, it's so tame. I'm just reading some things on a website with you, all of us together, like enjoying it live, and we can scrutinize it and we can talk about it if you feel like jumping in the comment section and having, adding something. Maybe you're sharing an experience of your own. It is the most inoffensive thing in the planet. I am not rallying up a bunch of people. We're not going to start a cult. We're not going to, be prejudiced against a certain group. It's not, the stories aren't making us angry towards certain types of people unless they're doing bad things to other people, unless they're hurting people, unless they're doing things that we can all probably agree means that they're in violation of a law and should be put away. I'm not raising an army here. I'm not, it's not a hate-filled thing at all. It's just me reading, and that's a problem. So, yeah, you didn't see me yesterday, and I apologize. But, whoa, this site's a little weird now. And it's not just, like, funny weird anymore. It's, like, really weird. Number 11, a guy convinced a friend to drill a hole in the back of his head. Yeah, this is that jam. Bro, you gotta do it, bro. How can a guy, where are the people? Look, if there's anything I'm guilty of on this channel, it's trying to figure out how come somebody hasn't given me $50, because look at it. Let me highlight this for you one time. A guy convinced a friend to drill a hole in the back of his head. What can't a man like that convince someone to do? I need to, can I pay this man? Can he whisper women out of their clothes as well? What's happening? Woo! Let me continue. Actually, let me put myself in a better mood. Let me share a very quick portion of a song that I prepared off of, the stream. A very, very quick portion of it. Listen to this. Can I get a little popcorn in the morning? Hey, can I get a little popcorn in the morning? Whoa. In the morning. Can I get a little popcorn? All right, that's enough. That's all y'all get. All right, James, I thought I was gonna break off a piece of that. Number 11, a guy convinced a friend to drill a hole in the back of his head because he read somewhere that it alters the flow of cerebrospinal fluid to give a permanent high without any drugs. Somehow, it worked out with no bad effects except that he and the friend just left it open for 2 weeks. And the cut edges of his scalp started rotting. I could literally see into the inside of the dude's brain through the dime-sized hole that he drilled. Not sure if penetrating the brain itself was intentional or not. But the goddamn shocking thing is, except for the infection in his scalp, the guy was otherwise completely fine. He told me all about what he did in a totally coherent manner, and then extolled the virtues of drilling into your skull over taking drugs. You ain't gonna see no news articles about this kind of crap, homie. Modern Warfare is gonna come out, and it's gonna seem like the world is ending because, oh my god, you did a violent thing in a game with guns, and now this is what's actually making the killers. / sarcasm, right? But where are the stories about homie convincing his friend to drill a hole in his skull because, hey, that's what's up, All we need is one influencer to be like, hey man, you should drill a hole in the back of your skull. And YouTube will be like, ha ha ha, that's obviously parody. But if I ever said something like that, I'd be serving like 1,000 life sentences consecutive, back to back. You know what I'm talking about? They will put me in the cell with walls so thick. it would probably make me hard because of the thickness. That's the joke, you know? Fat booty white girls. Get it? You know? Thick? No. Not white girls. Whoa. Fat booty everyone. All walls matter. Hashtag Yeem. Oh, wait. Hashtag Skeet Yeem. Nice. I really feel terrible for who wasn't here for Yeem, because Emily messaged me earlier saying, guess who I'm going to see tonight? And I responded with, your therapist, ? And then I said hashtag Yeem, but she doesn't watch my streams. So it must seem like just a stupid thing that I say. Or worse, what if she thinks that it's an actual thing that people say, and then I'm just jumping on board that garbage? What's wrong with me? I just pulled an abnormally straight hair off my balls. Okay, not my balls, YouTube. My, I have like these oversized bouncy balls, and they're hairy. And most of the hairs on them are curly, so this one, when it was straight, it was like, it's totally PG. Don't worry about it, YouTube. Don't worry about it. How dare you, Stripes, imply that the hair on my bouncy balls are gray as if they're old? I'll have you know that they're all white, like Gandalf when he came back. Okay? Number 10. On my first clinical, there was a 7-year-old kid who came to the ER on a psych call because he tried to kill his parents and his grandparents. The kid was nice as hell and cried when we put the IV in him. Well, you know, you have to wonder how it gets to that, you know? Everybody has their limit. Everybody has their limit. As we continue up this list, number 9 seems deleted. Now, I could venture into the territory of some of the deleted entries we see over here. There was a lot of counseling for him. Look, I'll just read it, all right? My significant other's cousin is a child safety officer. He's already seen a lot in his short career, but the one that nearly broke him was when he got called to a drug den. A man got pissed off at a baby that would not stop crying, so he decided to put him in the microwave. I didn't write it, and that's not cool. The Kyle channel does not condone the act of microwaving babies of any variety, you know, human or otherwise. Don't do it. I wouldn't even microwave an egg. I said it. Look, I don't need to read another one. That was one deleted entry, so I read one deleted entry. Number 8. We have a frequent flyer who repeatedly comes in because she gets glass dildos stuck in her butt. You know, there are a lot of types of rigid phallic instruments. Why it needs to be a glass one, I'll never know. She's already had to have emergency surgery twice because they break after she puts them in. She puts them in the freezer first. Oh, this is just like a part of the kink then. You gotta freeze and then insert glass dildos and get them to break, you know? And it's like, she's probably happier than I am, you know? Who are we to have anything to say to this woman? We don't condone that kind of stuff, neither do I, but they're probably happier than we are, you know? I should just get on the treadmill and hate myself. Maybe I can provoke a heart attack. And then, when I pass out, Number 7. Okay? I got a call of medical aid request. Sorry, my nose is getting weird and stuffy. Give me one moment. Hello, Guitar Slinger. Hello, True Silver Wolf. I got a call of a medical aid request. Male subjects in chainsaw-related injury. Oh boy. Chainsaw-related injury. showed up and found a male in the middle of the street, head in one place, body in the other. Chainsaw still running. The guy had found out his wife was cheating on him with his own brother, got drunk, put the chainsaw to his throat to teach them a lesson. And the chainsaw teeth caught his neck and kept going. Now, that's not a neat thing, man. That blood's gonna be everywhere. That's not a neat thing. Neat from Bender's perspective. You know, I'm talking John DiMaggio perspective, Bender. But, like, do you really need the image? Neat, Bender, gif. There's no flash, come on. Madeline Selby caressed the subscribe button. Did I do that? Did I rename it to something stupid like that? And you can change it later, Kyle. The time to do that is not now. End this list and convince yourself. Number 6. I work in an operating room. Patient came in for surgery, was using a loaded gun as a sex toy up her rectum, and it went off as she was doing the deed, shot through her abdomen. She's lucky to have survived. She's lucky to have survived. You know? Look, I know people want to ask, why would you do it? You know why they do it. The thrill. The thrill, dude. Why do people go out and become exhibitionists? Like, why do they come so close to getting caught? You know what I mean? For some people, it's the thrill. It's the only way they're going to feel alive. You know? And it's a shame. The Kyle does not condone the act of theft in any way. You know? But I know people who don't care about the money. They just do some stuff to do it. If only they could send that dirty money my way so I could do beautiful and wonderful things with it to tip the balance, you know, back in favor, to restore cosmic karma. Wow, I'm starting to sound like Christian, you know. Christian updates his Twitter, and he says some stuff that makes me literally want to drop everything I'm doing and read it. And not like read it just like to myself. I'm talking, let's make a video about this, my dude. This dude's crazy. How crazy is Christian? Now listen. When is what? All the way from June. What is this? Here it is, right? No. No. Listen, I don't know who I was following. But the bottom line is, this dude was talking about how he spent a while in like another dimension's body. Stripes, find me the link to the Christian that I follow on my, maybe I can just type it in like this, Chris. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Let's go ahead and pop that up there as a little bookmark. Okay. Let me just read to you some of this, because it's good stuff. This is insanity. Okay? Oh my god. Hello, Earth 1218, and everyone in it. I have returned, and I have a lot to share, fortunately. I typed it out already and screen capped it, and it is a long read, so grab yourself a cup of coffee and enjoy my experiences while in Magi-chan's body. What? Let me wait a goddamn minute. Okay. Hey everyone, I am back. Wow, that was a real adventure. Going into a more powerful body in the neighboring dimension is quite the shocker type of event. You know? Like Pikachu? Shocker. Anyway, Mewtwo and I had a great time in California. Is Mewtwo like real? Is that like an entity you can touch, like for real? Are they always in your Pokeball, or are they inside your brain and they're like an entity that speaks to you God, who knows? The first day with Magichan's legs, I ran from Virginia to California. It was a lovely run. I ran from Virginia to California. It was a lovely run, and I almost tripped a few times. But the psychic senses gave me a heads up, so I was able to instinctively avoid the mishaps. The weather was clear and good that morning. Lovely views, even though I had a lot of them, being blurred to me. Yeah, because you were running so fast, right? An hour or two later, we made it to Utah. I found and visited my BFF Anna McLaren. I initially had a tough time verbally communicating with her or getting her attention, but I went telepathic, and she was able to hear me. She looked like she was hearing a ghost. I clarified who I was and that I was standing right in front of her. So you went into somebody else's body in another dimension, but they still couldn't see you, and you had to telepathically communicate with them? And it was just like it was an immediate interaction. You didn't have to describe who you were in this dimension and then in the other dimension. Because listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, I know Dia in this dimension, but if I go into another dimension and I meet Dia, she's probably not going to know who I am. So I'm going to have to be like, this is who I am here, hello, but I'm actually from another dimension and this is who we are there. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's not get into it. My dude goes on to say, I put a hand on her forehead while she was sitting on the couch, sent a few mind-opening pulses, throbbing pulses, and she was able to see me. Startled, yes, but she soon calmed down. I told her about Magichan and I switching bodies. This is fun. Stripes, get into this Discord. Find a way into this Discord. Get me all of this hot action and on a page in front of my eyeballs so that I can read it. I'll read it for the internet and I'll give it my all, boy. I'll read it like it's Lord of the Rings. Oh my God. But I'm a ghost though. I don't understand. As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 5. I was in the ER. A young girl was brought in. She was beaten, she was messed up, and she was alert and oriented though. She was fighting the paramedics and the ER staff about assessing her. It turns out she was only 12 or 13 years old. She had been beaten by an uncle and refused to say anything until her daddy showed up. Of course, no one showed up. When I last checked on her at the end of the shift, things that happen to children are the most effed up. Not even supposed to talk about it on YouTube. Just smile and pretend these things don't happen. You know what YouTube's like? A newspaper with all of the bad things taken out. Is there really news? Well, there is if we decide it's news. You ever hear what a vapid thought? It seems like there's always bad news. I wish I could get a newspaper with just the good things that happen. Sounds like a person you want to hang out with, right? Sounds like a person who's aware of things that are going on in the world. Yeah, really, really reasonable, awesome thought process. Not fake, fucking lame. You chasing an iWatch, bitch. You watching TikTok videos, ho. Nothing wrong with that. There's funny stuff all over the place. Vine was lame as hell, but there was some amusing stuff coming out of there. But is it your entire existence? How many memes have you ingested that have to do with a new iPhone? There's really nothing to talk about. Has an extra camera at the end. Is that really provocative? Is that stimulating? Is that doing something for you mentally? What's wrong? Exactly. That's not you, which is why I love you, subscribers. But it's like this place that we have online, it only exists because it hasn't received too much attention. One day you'll understand exactly why I go so far out of my way to keep this thing unlikable to the type of basic douche that would fly into something clicking it, I keep it unappealing to children because that's a big deal these days. If kids like something, ooh, that's too much attention. If basic people like something, oh no. You ever watch a prank video and just go into the comment section? Everybody's along for that ride. Way too many camera angles, strategic editing, bizarre things that make it seem as if the person who is supposed to not be a part of the prank is in on the prank. It's just impossible. You know what I mean? But people in that comment section will defend their shit. So look, we got to stay away from that. We should elect to literally just find a underground layer, a island. Shit, I ain't worried about sunlight. I don't know what to say. Number 4, one of my patients sneezed out his intestines. What? One of my patients sneezed out his intestines. What is this, Stripes? The truth about Carl, he's great. Oh, that's the newspaper with only good news. The Lenny Saver. Yeah, let's continue that subscription. God, Simpsons used to be so great. Why? Whatever. We should just be glad that it existed and it has so much to give. Old school Simpsons has so much to give. Maybe we should watch like a whole season of The Simpsons, dude. I'm willing to do that. I think I could set that as like a weird little donation goal. Or if the patrons or the people who are members of the channel are feeling spicy, they could just flex the fact that they've been, hardcore patrons and hardcore sponsors long enough to be like, yeah, I want that, set it up. And then we'll watch it together on that Smashcast thing that I was talking about. Oh, that'll be amusing. So let's continue. Forgive me. One of my patients sneezed out his intestines. He had a hernia so severe that the skin had stretched to the breaking point. So all it took was a sudden increase in abdominal pressure, and bam. To elaborate, he had multiple surgeries to repair the hernia in the past that failed. He came into the hospital looking like he had swallowed a basketball. The skin around his belly was very thin and damaged, so all it took was a sneeze to rip the skin, and all of his bowels came shooting out. Not a single loop of bowel, basically all of it, since he had little support in there to keep them all in place. He survived the initial trauma, since evisceration is not as immediately fatal as it may look if the bowel is undamaged, but I think he had a very poor long-term prognosis. He wasn't gonna make it much longer. Hearing that makes me a little ill down there. I feel like my intestines are reacting to that and they don't feel great right now. Guys, chill down, cool down, chill out. It's actually hurting me. I can't process thought right. Word elude me. Word time elude me. Wear big titties that calm me. Ow. Calm down, my dudes. Jeez, it's just a story. For real. Number 3. A young girl in her 20s was kidnapped and held captive for days. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no girl alive that is going to get kidnapped, and if she's kept alive, won't be used, and that sucks. Every inch of her was bruised. They shaved her head and eyebrows off and burnt her. What? Just sick, evil, brutal, torturous for no reason. They're not even invested in preserving the chick's beauty. They're not even invested in that novelty. They just want to make her suffer. In a situation like that, better the chick be dead. I'm literally like, whoa, something's going on inside me. Okay. She was only found by chance. I don't want to imagine what would have happened if she wasn't. No family came to see her. Either she was truly isolated and alone with no support, and I think that made it so much worse. What do you say? I hope she didn't put herself in that situation. Because to have no one to come, see you while you're, somebody says that's probably what made her a target for kidnappers. Holy crap. Holy crap. Can some emojis make me feel better? I'm really not feeling well all of a sudden. Like my gut is having like a rumbly reaction. Holy hell. Would Tums make me feel better? What's going on down there? Or would Pepto-Bismol? Maybe I just need to eat? What have I eaten today? I had those damn tacos. If you're on my Snapchat, you know exactly what I had today. That's all I had. But that was like breakfast time. It's probably been a good amount of hours. D, if you can hear me, is there anything out there that would be reasonable for me to snack on right now? What's in the fridge that I can snack on? Because you're probably not done with that potato salad. We have popcorn. Boy, we fucking around, until we waiting for that lunch money deposit. Shit. One more week, and I should be grocery shopping. But for real, I think there's ramen. I think there's popcorn. There may be some hot dogs, but that would take probably like a good 6-10 minutes to prepare. She could be ready in that time with the potato salad. Oh man. Yo, I don't have anything.
You made meatballs, remember?
All right, could you bring just a little bit of the rice in that thing? Or even you can dump the meatballs into that dish with the napkin on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then bring that for me, please.
Do I heat it up?
Nah. I mean, yeah. 30 seconds, I'll do it. Thank you, I appreciate you. I really do hope it's hunger, because it came in like clockwork at that ridiculous story of a man sneezing his intestines out. You Walt. Number 2. Used to work at a naval hospital. Apparently artillery marines used to have this hazing tradition called kissing the breech. Okay. Essentially, the M777 howitzer artillery guns have a massive recoil, and the new Marines would put their face as close to the recoil as possible, and apparently this was fairly common. Well, boys will be boys, but honestly, I never heard of it again after this. So, this good-looking 19-year-old boot kissed the breech. Literally. The gun recoiled, smacked him in the face, and he was transferred to our hospital one day after the incident. And it was the worst injury I have ever seen to this day. He somehow survived being hit in the face by the recoil of a round capable of traveling 25 miles. 25 miles? It's like being hit with a cannon and surviving? I'm not sure I understand. Guitar Slinger Kyle, what service gets you money right away? Well, Streamlabs, but I will be blatantly honest with you. Today is Saturday, so I'll get that money on Monday, because on the weekends, when I say it goes to PayPal right now, and then I send it to my Bing Bong, it will wait till the next business day, which will technically be Monday, way in the morning, in the AM, or maybe even Sunday night towards midnight. But yeah, no, Streamlabs is way faster because Super Chat, that just rolls over onto my next payment, which has already been deposited to AdSense right now. Not that oh boy. Well, yeah, no, you're good. I appreciate you, my man. Guitar Slinger, you're a hero among men balls. I think, around the 20th is when they should be depositing that crap, which is about another week. Yeah. So, I mean, you know what I'm talking about? I got what it takes. We got some stuff frozen. that we can make his bing bongs. But this is I don't know. I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, this dude deserved this. What were you doing putting your face there? But there's nothing like the peer pressure of a group of dudes in the moment. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to be firm and just decide, yeah, dude, I'm not going to do something that's going to like endanger my life. But at the same time, you got the right group of dudes together and they just decide on some wild shit that they're going to do, but we're going to do it together. You know what I mean? Suddenly the dumbest, most ridiculous crap that would never be on the table is something that you would consider because, hey, everybody's going to do that and it's just going to be y'all and nobody else needs to know about it. Maybe you're doing it alone, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I get it. I wouldn't do it, but I get it. And it sucks because this dude paid the price with his face. How you survive being hit in the face? By something that would travel 25 miles. This thing weighed it weighed 9,000 pounds and hit him in the face with literal cannon force. He makes it to the hospital, and I couldn't believe my eyes. He essentially had lost his entire face. No eyes, mouth, nose, or chin. A Kyle list, like and subscribe, where you recognize that you're taking your face for granted, my dude. A gaping hole with tubes and surgical dressing. I was part of a team responsible for stabilizing him and never heard the outcome, but I know he survived for quite some time. He may have made it back home. I hope he is still around. He had a great family around him, and the hardest part was seeing his mother holding pictures of her son before the incident happened. Okay, there go Delilah. Bruh, my point is this. Be careful, It's not worth your life, and it's not worth forever changing the rest of your existence. This is pretty rough stuff. Losing your face. Number 1 on this list says a homeless person with an infected foot came in last month. The foot was red and necrotic, as in the tissue was all dead. Little black holes were everywhere. We pour in some iodine and a few maggots fall out. Another nurse suggested hydrogen peroxide, and the hole bubbled, and thousands of maggots came bursting out. I can't describe the smell. Now, it's difficult to talk about maggots without the fact that, flies will be born. Isn't that gross when you think about it? You're like a human nest now. And I think at least when you're having like a spider nest, or an ant's nest in something, it's not like the grossest thing in the world. You could hold a couple of spiders in your hand, not poisonous, not venomous. They're just spiders, You could hold a couple of ants in your hand, but maggots, dude, maggots, bruh, listen. This hurts me. The story about the guy sneezing his intestines out, the story about the dude losing his face, these particular stories hurt the hell out of me. And I'll just say, as a musician, when I was super young, one of the things that used to scare the hell out of me more than death was losing my digits, like my fingers, and not being able to play anymore. Now, as a dude who uses his voice, I'm scared of losing the voice. What if something happens and it just goes and I can't speak anymore? Very scary. But, there are a lot of things that... I know a lot of girls who have tried to take their own life by ingesting things. And it doesn't kill them, it just screws them up for life. You feel me? It just screws them up for life. And that's sad, but it's the truth. I won't hold you tonight. I'll let you get the hell out of here. I love you to death. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I love these when like dudes try to in a game called Saints Row. This was a video game, or like a mini game I should call it, where you could like be in the middle of the street and then ragdoll when a car comes by, and it would send you like flying really far, and the further you went flying, the more money you'd make. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. That was like the best game. The best mini game for me is just ragdolling in the middle of the street. You know, car comes, hits you, and you really go soaring. But here's this guy. Oh my god. That's why it says driver scammer gets what he wanted. Oh no. Oh boy. I've seen some truly fantastic you know, fakes with people pretending that the that they were really getting hit. Oh, I love this if you haven't seen this. Some alligators out there.
Bunch of crocs.
Oh, crocs, crocodile.
Pete, you're too close to him. Oh God, Pete, your pedal's too close to that one. Sorry.
Poor guy. Let's do that again.
Oh God, Pete, your pedal's too close to that one. Sorry.
That's not funny. I mean, can we say that we would face down death so level-headed, you know? Oh my god. Look. Wait, what?
Understand how do I say this?
Well, a teacher said she was gonna pull out a gun.
I've had students before who, if I have a gun on me, I might be like really tempted to pull it out and shove it in their face just to get
Oh my god. Who is this old lady? And they got her on recording, dude. Somebody was diligent enough to record this old lady in a class talking about how she was going to be tempted to pull out a gun and shove it in a face. Yo, rest in peace, your career. That's a subreddit that I'd subscribe to. Hold up. Hold on a minute. Somebody said that they knew the teacher would be older than cell phones. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Aren't most of us older than cell phones? They had cell phones in the late 80s. Well, I guess that's not true, though. That's not true, then. Most of us aren't older than that. Guys, I love you. Get a hold of me. Let me know what's going on. Stay amazing. Stay out of trouble. Appreciate you being here. Like the video, subscribe if you're new and you're interested in more of whatever this might be. Special thanks to my patrons. You guys are honestly keeping the lights on around here. Whoa.
Thanks for all you do. I sent a message in chat for you, explaining more.
What the hell? Guitar Slinger, I appreciate you, my man. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, I just felt like a pinch in my balls. It may have been the Lord himself saying, you know, thank him, you know. Thank you, Guitar Slinger. He says, Kyle, what service gets you the most? Wait, I don't think that's what he's referring to as the message in chat. Maybe in the Discord? But no, man, damn, I really appreciate that. My man, you're definitely taking care of me going past, when I get paid again. So, oh, and D as well, because we're both benefiting from being a little easier here, and you're helping me out with the stress of this nonsense coming down from YouTube. It's very tricky, It's very, very tricky. And I want to always be here for you. And worse, I don't want to be annoying, or whiny, because there's so many people online that make their living off of being whiny. And I don't want to turn into that, I just want to have an old man rant. What it's like? It's like when you have an outlet. And I guess a good analogy for that is like you're a bottle and you're getting shook up and the pressure's building. And you need to let it out every now and then, as opposed to allowing it to get so bad that you just burst, And that's what I want to do, is just occasionally let it out and move the fuck on. But I feel like sometimes, hey, man, it's getting wild. Guitar says, Kyle, thank you for helping me realize that ghosting fucking shitty toxic family is okay to do. And it doesn't make you a terrible person. I'm super glad that you came to this realization, my dude. I'm super glad, okay? Because just because you're related to somebody does not mean they're incapable of being a bad person. And I don't think I don't think there is anything more. I don't think there's anything more blatant when it comes to that than the fact that right now someone is abusing a member of their family, whether it's a boy, whether it's a little girl, they are doing something non-consensual without their consent. And can I tell you what may be even worse than that right now? They're abusing their power over someone else, is the fact that when someone learns and verifies that it did in fact happen and that the kid's not just speaking bullcrap, they're going to cover for that person. How sick is that? It would be one thing if this were like a religious man, quote unquote, massive finger quotes, where people are so brainwashed and indoctrinated by their ridiculous religion that they consider this person, to have free literal reign over their offspring to do with what they want. And they're just going to not even turn a blind eye, but literally cover for them, my dude. But when it's happening in your family and you're going to cover for these people, it's disgusting. It's despicable. So I can say it to you straight to hell up, Guitar Slinger. There's a lot of creepypasta on YouTube. But the fact of the matter is, reality got, these creepypastas got nothing on reality when it comes to these people that are going to abuse, and then the people that will cover for those people. It's terrible. So when you got family members and maybe they're incapable of seeing things from other people's perspectives, maybe they're extremely selfish, in that regard. Maybe they're old. Unfortunately, so they're very set in their ways, and they're not going to learn any new tricks, and they're not going to see anything from any perspective other than the way that they're used to, this 30 or 40-year-old perspective that has no place in today's world, that doesn't contribute in today's world, that couldn't work if they tried to get out there and do it themselves in today's world. It's pretty sad, but again, really, 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 really doesn't make you a bad person. And I feel the most critical and important thing that I can say is that love, my dude, should have a vested interest in a person's happiness. And I know that sounds crazy, but I like to think if I had a child, and as terrible as it sounds, what they believed would make them happy is to not deal with me because I'm just a nightmare, or, I'm miserable, or we don't line up in a way. I'm not going to guilt trip them and make them feel like shit and make them feel terrible and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to try to be understanding, my dude. If this is what you think you want and this will make you happy, my dude, let's work towards that, okay? I'm not saying that they're going to be able to get away with, trying to do stuff when they're underaged. Like, oh, smoking weed's going to make me happy, Dad. Bruh, unless it's legal, you need to calm the hell down. You know what I mean? Oh man, going to this orgy's gonna make me happy, dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, my point is, dude, when everybody's an adult, hey, and we can't communicate, and y'all go try to blame one person for that, communication is a two-way street. So I hope that, everything that you're dealing with and going through, in time, it resolves itself, because time is something we have in limited proportions, very limited. And Guitar says, sorry to derail the stream, man. I've done that myself. You know, when Obi-Wan says to Anakin, you have done that yourself. I'm looking in the mirror when I say that about derailing the stream. So it's like, hey, Seraphin, whatever the reason, it's disgusting. And it serves to make my point that, yeah, some people are terrible, regardless of, whether they're related or family. Blood thicker than water, my ass, man. It's not an excuse to be a bastard. And one of the craziest things I heard while I was growing up was the phrase, do as I say and not as I do. And it was like, holy shit. It was just like this mantra of hypocrisy that seemed to be embraced by every parent that I knew. And it made me so freakishly opposed to the idea of parenthood in general, because I feared worse than death the idea of watching myself become this manner of creature where this kind of shit was okay, where I could just say these things and then do the opposite and go to bed at night sleeping with this hypocrisy like it was totally fine, just like cuddling up, no problem for me. Holy hell, What was the quote? Who makes the quote? How do you write women so well? Oh, I start with a man and then I remove accountability. I'm not saying that only women are crazy in the hypocrisy department in families. I'm just saying, shit. A lot of parents seem to just go flat out mental. And it's wild because they were kids at some point too, and must have had parents that were incapable of understanding things as they are now because they didn't grow up that way. Okay? So as a child, they should have thought to themselves, my God, if I ever have kids, I gotta be a little more understanding of them. I gotta go out of my way to try to communicate with these little bastards. And then they just lose touch, like Skinner. Just like Skinner. Have I lost touch? No, it's the children who are wrong. Boy. True Silver Wolf says, I spawned a vehicle in Borderlands 3 and the game crashed. Game of the year. Oh my God. Guitar Slinger, I really appreciate the hell out of you. You're a saint. You're a scholar. You're a badass. And I want you to go ahead and choose a GIF. And either throw it at me right here in the chat, and then I'll go search for it as we end it, or you can drop it in the Discord. To anybody else that may be wanting better notifications for these streams, because I know sometimes I don't set the notification for a half hour before, I'll try to figure out what I'm going to read early tomorrow, and then put the notification up so people can set a reminder if that pops up, and then we'll go from there. I love you to death. I am burning the hell up now. Guitar Slinger, you're a hero, and you are saving me, and I appreciate you, man. I apologize for what you may be going through, but I really do hope that people come to their senses, But if you've been through any of the things that I've been through, not just like with family, but like in relationships, some people have said and done things where it's like, if I could just read back to them what they've said, like a court stenographer, and they don't feel bad, it's time to just give up, It's time to just give up. You ever talk to somebody and they say something so ridiculous that it's like, you're thinking to yourself, can you even hear yourself? Because like, it's indefensible. There's no reasonable, rational way that you can be coming from that perspective, hoping to convince anybody that you ain't crazy. But if their own words can't hit them back, If their own actions can't be expressed to them and have them, even after amount of time, just go, I was crazy and I was a little emotional and I flew off the handle, my bad, blah, blah. It's just time to wrap it up, boy. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, so I'm not going to tell you who it was, but I did receive a phone call last night from a friend who had been drinking, and they called me saying that they needed me to help them calm down. And the sad part about it is that a person that they're in a relationship with is typically the drinker among the two. And they called me and they kept saying, I don't usually do this, but I was drinking. And I was thinking to myself, why the hell you keep apologizing to me for that? You're an adult. Ain't nothing wrong with you drinking. What's up? But after a while, it became clear that they were guilty. Not guilty like they were in the wrong, but they felt guilty for drinking. And it's funny because ain't nothing wrong with drinking. You're an adult. You're not going to jump behind the wheel of a car. You know what I mean? They weren't planning on that. But the reason that they felt guilty was because they were used to being the babysitter for their partner who is usually always drinking. And the panic that I was feeling from them deciding to call to hopefully have me stabilize them a bit was the panic of recognizing that they wouldn't be able to take care of their partner as well because they were a little bit impaired. And you know how sad that made me? It was heartbreaking in a way. It was heartbreaking because they felt for that moment in time that they weren't going to be able to do their duty of taking care of their partner, who, honest to God, is a freaking alcoholic, who recently, bro, let me stay off what I'm talking about. But, I say that to hope that if you're in a situation like this, that you can recognize it, I used to talk to a lot of girls where when they were young, they were just insecure for reasons that were just stupid, and they're little hurdles and obstacles that you have to imagine everybody at a certain age has to go through, and after a while they overcome it. If it's not one thing, it's something else. They'll just find to be overly critical of themselves, dude. A lot of people, when they're going through school or when they have something tough going on at work, the obstacles are other people. But for some people, the biggest obstacles are themselves. I'm just saying, when you find yourself in a position where you feel stuck, you feel like, things aren't developing. Everybody feels occasionally like when they look back that maybe they're not right now where they wanted to be, It would be technically impossible for you to always feel like, yeah, you're really making the strides that you wanted to. You've met your goals. Absolutely. And, if you were to guess like a year back where you'd be right now, then you'd be super satisfied because you totally passed all of the goals that you were at. You know what I'm saying? But, it's not something that you should be hypercritical of yourself, because for some people that turns into an endless cycle. To say it real quick, people get sad because they ain't getting nothing done, and they not getting nothing done because they sad as hell. Don't make it a cycle. Take it a step at a time. Do what you need to do. Come to some firm realizations about the people around you, being some people that you may need to cut ties with. One of my favorite things I always used to say in the Confession podcast is when people would come in and talk about how lonely they are and how sad and, okay, how can I make friends? The first thing I would tell their ass, it was not to answer the question of how they can make friends. It would be to say, not everybody needs to be your friend. Do you understand? That's the most important thing that I can say, is that some people screw around and they allow their excitement, they're eager, they're excited, like desperate search for this companionship, for maybe a partner, to just have them grab on to the immediate person that may give them a little bit of attention. That's a mistake. Make sure you're compatible. Make sure you can communicate. Make sure there's mutuality. Otherwise, you are going to end up regretting it. That'll be time you can never get back. Worst case scenario, you end up with this person. You're not happy. They're not happy. You both know it. And you're stuck there because you're both chicken shit to move on. Or worse, Maybe he knows that he can have you and do whatever he wants to do. Maybe she knows that she can have you and do whatever she wants to do. And you're going to put up with it because you're scared of going back to being alone. You're scared of starting over. Maybe this is you've convinced yourself that this is the best that you can do. Don't put yourself in that spot. That's all I'm saying. So the easiest way to deal with some of these things isn't to remedy it after it becomes a problem. It's to prevent it before it happens. You feel me? You know, you slice your hand up right now and you need to treat that bitch because it's a little bit too deep. It's going to be a hell of a lot more of a nightmare than it would have been to just be a little more careful and make sure you don't slice yourself up. So I love you. I'm sorry about the rant. Guitar Slinger, I see that you're asking for a Borderlands. Man, I'm trying to make my character gangster, but I don't have the points yet because I'm not high enough level. What should it be? Like a little claptrap link? I mean, a little claptrap. Let me just put in transparent, see what comes up. I don't want there to be... That's an awkward perspective on that gun that runs. That's the thing. We haven't reached a high enough level to see all the crazy and wild guns with personality yet. So I hope that, you know, when we do get there. Borderlands. I'm just going to put Borderlands GIF then. Don't have to worry about 3. What should it be? Some of these are whack. Handsome Jack. There go a claptrap, I mean. Hello, DC. Is everybody all right? Anybody going through something? Selena says, yes, my mom lacks accountability so bad. I've been making her work on it. She used to get super defensive if I say anything remotely criticizing her, but like I said, we're working on it. I hope you guys can work through it before one of you inevitably dies, because some relationships, you know, do not get mended before it's too late. And that's the sad truth. A lot of these are static. When I type GIF, I'm usually thinking of like an animated type deal. There's a Morrigan from Darkstalkers. Is that Borderlands? Google? A lot of people don't make Borderlands GIFs, huh? If I just type Borderlands GIF, I'd get a lot, right? But it wouldn't be transparent. That's so impressive that I can type Borderlands in, Borderlands GIF, maybe Borderlands animated GIF. It's just the gun. That's so sad because it's like nobody cares about this stupid thing. I would use this and use just the top 2. Like space it so it's off the screen. But some idiot who made this, God bless him, you know, no offense, made it so that the looping of the GIF causes it to disappear for a frame or two. You know, welcome to baby's first GIF that you're making. Now, a normal person would look at this and think, oh no, I need to go back and fix the missing frames. But not this person. They were like, bruh, upload it as it is. I've already wasted 3 years of my life figuring out how to animate my first GIF for a game no one else did. And hey, we're looking at it here. Again, just goes to show you, being the first or only person to do something, bruh, it'll give you that attention because here we are looking at it. Here we are looking at it. Guys, help me be the first person to do some stupid thing, okay? I don't care what it is. If you have some weird niche thing that you're into and you think that there's like a news breaking in your particular like niche thing that nobody else has covered yet, you know, drop it in my Discord, send me a Snapchat, and I'll handle it immediately. And then I'll reap all 17 of those hot views. Yeah. I'm so sorry. What do I do, Guitar Slinger? We can't find a GIF. DC says, you don't like art, Kyle? I like art. I love art. I think Garfunkel's cool. Old people jokes tonight. Yeah. Dude, this hurts me. It's just Lilith spinning. Can we talk about Lilith in Borderlands 3? Yo. Borderlands 3 Lilith looking a little, dude. Is that rude to say? Not in game, she looks dope in game. I don't know what to type in to get that crazy, you know. Oh, forget it. What if I type vision? Nope, we are not gonna get it. I'd have to dive into my own, my own video and then get what I'm talking about. Because there's a portion where they have like the actual actress bust onto your screen in HD and you're like, ooh. Yeah, no, it's been a couple of years. Selena says, I can edit a GIF for you. Sweetie, do not go that far. Please. Just take it easy. The day that I'm desperately needing all of you to do things, you talented and incredible people, I'll ask you for it, but otherwise I'll feel terrible that, I still need to make that Garsana Kitty video, like showing off some of the amazing art that you guys submitted. I mean, what do I do? What's weird is that, shouldn't there be other ones of people spinning around? What if this is a dangerous thing to scroll down on? What if there's just like a gif of like some hot titties? I'd be in trouble. Doesn't this look like a blast from the past, guys? Wait a minute. Yeah. Excuse me, sorry about that. We're gonna go take the obnoxiously shaped, psycho ball head. Oh, cool, it doesn't save properly. Let's see if we can open it in a new tab. It's just an image. Let's see if I can save this as an image. Nope, it is still saving as a WEBP. Fantastic. Just doesn't get any better, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to say here. Let's get out of here. Oh, that was a gross noise that I made. It was a sneeze, right? Or did I like snort after? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, look. I am going to I'm sorry. I'll find something. I promise. I'll find something. I love that, you may not have been trying, Guitar Slinger, but we found something that the internet is fresh out of. Do you know how I feel right now? When I was a young lad, I'm talking like early 2000s, my dude, before 2005, there were days where I would want to find things on the internet which wasn't divided into surface and deep web yet, okay? And I couldn't find it because, it just wasn't there yet. And the internet needed a time to cook until people's interests found its way on there. And I feel like this is that time. I'm gonna try looking up Claptrap. It would be insane. It would be insane if no one in the entire fandom liked Claptrap enough to animate a moving GIF of him. But look, why is he the wrong colors in this one? This is insanity to me. Stationary. Stationary claptrap gifts. This one is like a 3D rendered model of like a... Guitar Slinger has inadvertently found something to make me go crazy about. So I hope that that's mildly entertaining to you, because I'm shocked. This game has 3. Oh my God! It doesn't just have 3 entries. It has a Telltale game, and then it has another one called Borderlands: The Pre-Sequel. There are 5 games in this franchise. It's a veritable Kingdom Hearts. But if I were to look up you know what? Give me that. Give me that right there. This is not what you asked for. And trust me, you know that you'll have what you asked for by the time we get back at this. But I am shook that yes, he's got to go fast. Yeah. Oh my God. DC says, okay, I'm going to go on with this list of effed up things cops and nurses saw number 8. Wait, I've probably read this exact type of thing before. Well, thank you guys for being cool. Appreciate you all being here. We'll see you soon. Get something to eat. Wind down. I'll try to come back later with a little bit of, Am I streaming to Twitch too? Oh no! Shout out to all my Twitch viewers. Twitch.tv/Kyle. Later. Thank you to my patrons. And a thank you to my YouTube sponsors. Thank you for clicking that join button. Wow. Wow, guys. And I will see you soon. It's time to turn on that AC. Cheers. Bye.